Hey you, that's right you, young game development link. Today I'm gonna give you the resources I would have given a younger version of me so that he could learn game development faster, easier and better than how he did it. Today we're going to be doing exactly that and we'll be starting right now. That's right, let's go. The few resources that I mentioned before are as follows. First is Godot 4. Okay, so you have a computer that has minimum specifications. It doesn't have the best of the line Ryzen processors. It doesn't have the best of the line RTX graphics processors. It doesn't have the best of the line memory. It doesn't have the best of the line SSD. In fact, you don't even have an SSD. You have a hard drive. If that's your current situation, Godot 4 will be the best option you can find where you can learn game development. Godot 4 utilizes a node-based system where each node is basically a body that has a set of functionality to it. For example, there's this thing called Mesh Instance 3D. You can drag and drop a body in there and you can build a collision shape from there. What's a collision shape? It's basically a shape that tells what part of this body can bang the wall and what part of the body shouldn't bang the wall when it's hitting a wall or the floor for that matter. That's a collision shape. See, each node has its own functionality and a set of functions related to it to which you can pay instances by using code. It's not very hard to use. Godot 4 is surprisingly very easy, but not many people make tutorials for it. There are a few rare exceptions like my tutorials and Finepoint CGI's tutorials in terms of C#, and there is another YouTuber who makes these tutorials very well, but he only uses GD script. If you want to learn GD script, the best way to learn it is from GD Quest. They make the best GD script tutorials and you have to go there if you really want to learn Godot with GD script. There's also another channel, I'll link that up in the description. And the next resource is ChatGPT. This may sound really weird because, well, ChatGPT is not a real person. But hey, if you feed this AI the documentation of what you're trying to learn, he'll learn it for you and he'll teach you in about an instant. So ChatGPT is a pretty good resource. If you want a camera controller, say, or a character controller, just ask him how it's done and tell him to generate a code and ask him how you should implement the code in your game so that it will work. If your gravity is janky and your jump is janky, ask him why the jump is janky. He'll give you an answer right back, if you put in the documentation, that is. You see, these are the top of the line resources. The next resources are for asset creation. This entire panel is for asset creation. So, Krita is the best asset creation tool a normal person could have if you are looking for still images, that is. But if you want something like pixel art, I'd suggest going with LibreSprite. LibreSprite, as the name suggests, is a liberal version of ASprite. It's when the developers of ASprite parted ways with the developers of LibreSprite. They got rights to use part of the software. It doesn't have much updates, but it works, and it does have a lot of functionality associated with it. So using LibreSprite for pixel art would be the best move, and you can animate and you can have different types of layers within it as well. So that's very good for you if you want to make good quality pixel art for your gameplay. And there's Blender. You see, if you're looking at 3D, Blender is the only thing you need to take a look at. Blender is open source. It's a free software that can run on almost anything, including a Core 2 quad. All they're asking for is a 4-core processor and a bit of RAM and, well, nothing else. The Blender Foundation, they made a really good product and I'm pretty sure you should use it as well. And there's a lot of tutorial series for this purpose. There's this guy called Blender Guru. He has the best tutorials that will get you started on what is Blender, geometry nodes, and every nuance of this one software. All you need to do is to search up the words Blender Guru. He'll even teach you how to animate. And after this, that's Smeef. Smeef helps you create a visual effects. His channel is dedicated to that entire thing using Blender. And he also teaches you how to create product designs and other things, but mostly he teaches you VFX with Blender. And these are the resources that will help you in learning 3D Blender. For Krita, there are plenty of YouTubers. I just can't think of one. It's not that they're not there, it's that they're too much in numbers. I don't know who to recommend because I learned from a variety of YouTubers. So you just check out Krita, it's pretty good. And if you want bone-based animation for your 2D sprites and you don't want to draw them out every single scene, there's OpenToons for you. OpenToons allows you to animate joint by joint. This is a really good software, please check it out. The next thing you're going to need is an IDE to code with C# in Godot. Sure, Godot has its own coding engine for C# as well, but it doesn't have autocomplete, it doesn't have any of the features that GDScript2 has been given inside of itself. The Godot team did one really good thing. They made sure that .NET users would be allowed to use an external IDE editor, and that editor of choice for me is Visual Studio. Visual Studio is the best if you want to do anything with C#, because when you're using C# and Godot, it gives you auto completions. It tells you the definitions of each functions when you're trying to access them, and it's going to be very useful if you're using C#. And then if you have anything to do with creating devlogs, I'd suggest getting yourself a tripod from Amazon Basics and a ring light from Digitech if you have them available nearby things. And the best screen recorder I would recommend for you is OBS Studio. OBS Studio is the best free software when it comes to streaming, recording, anything in general. OBS Studio is going to be all that you need if you want to stream from your PC or record from your PC. It's very easy to use. Don't worry about anything else than installing OBS Studio if you're making devlogs for the recording purpose. Then, for a free software to edit your videos with, there's DaVinci Resolve. I'm planning on making a tutorial series for DaVinci Resolve in the future, so if you want that, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. This tutorial series will focus on how to use DaVinci Resolve, making a project, and it will follow my process of using DaVinci Resolve in tandem with Krita and other audio creation software so that I can create a good looking video. That's that. And then for audio recording, if you want to do it on your phone, that's Dolby On. If you want to do it on your PC, then there's only one right answer, that is Audacity. Well, these are the tools that will help you create devlogs. What next? You may ask me. How do you create a thumbnail for the devlogs? Huge question, right? And there's a simple answer, Krita. Again, Krita, that's right. So if you want your own font and you have a graphics tablet lying around and you want to create that, that's Calligrapher. Calligrapher is the best font creation tool out there, and you can build templates and you can download fonts from there and you can import them very easily. So this is how you get fonts into your editor and other things, if it's not an editor. So these were my tips to help you get started up and get you all motivated for the next step in your game dev journey. That is actually using these resources and learning to do stuff. For audio creation, I'd suggest using, pre-made audio clips. There are plenty of them on the internet. But if you want to create it yourself, I'd say use Bosca Sea Oil. This is for music. And that's it. Thank you all for watching, and if you want more videos like these, I'd suggest that you hit the subscribe button and the like button so that this video will be pushed to more people and I'll gain the motivation to post more videos as well. Thank you. Bye.